I'll begin with Sanskrit chant. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Avirahvirmaheti Rudrayate Dakshinam Mukham Te Namapahinityam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Light us through and through ourselves and protect us always with your sweet, compassionate face. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. I almost didn't want to interrupt that wonderful meditation we were having just now. So let's kind of keep in that same spirit and feel very quiet outside and inside. We'll spend some time in meditation. And we'll talk about meditation and yoga. Now, we all have heard about meditation and yoga, and we know that it's good for us. It's good for our health. It's good for the body and mind. It relaxes us, lowers our blood pressure. Even the AMA recommends it. But when we think of our health, we have to think holistically. We have to think of that deeper part of us. That deepest part of us, which is actually the core of our being. The self, the true self, the Atman within us. Our spiritual health should include everything in us. So yoga and meditation is all about our health. Spiritually, mentally, and physically. In a holistic way, it unites us all the way through. So let's just keep very quiet place in our hearts right now. We all know that meditation is closing our eyes, calming the mind. And most of us think about yoga as something that we do in the gym. But that's actually something that you hear more in the West than the East. Because yoga, the word actually means to yoke to or to have union with. So what are we, when we engage in yoga and meditation, what are we having union with? We're having union with the deepest part of ourselves, the Atman, that true self of ours. So much of our time, our mind is going out. We're not able to really connect. We are apparently disconnected from our true self. Our true self, the Atman, is pure, perfect, eternal, free. Our true self is absolute radiance, light itself. And then you say, I haven't had my Starbucks. I'm not feeling perfect, eternal, free, or anything like that. Yoga unites us with our true self. Meditation quiets our mind so we can get there. When we are only apparently disconnected. So when we quiet our mind and engage in true yoga, we can come back to who we really are, our true self. Both yoga and meditation harness the powers of our mind. Our minds have infinite power and infinite capacity. We both know and use only the tiniest portion of our mind. Meditation and yoga allows us to use our mind much more fully. The Bhagavad Gita says, our mind can be our greatest friend, and our mind can be our worst enemy. It can be our mind when we're at the mercy of the mind's moods, its whims, its ups and downs. Yoga and meditation allows us to be friends with our own mind. Our mind will be our companion through the rest of our days. We need to make the mind our best friend and our best companion. Meditation gives us that freedom. There are various kinds of meditation, and there's various kinds of yoga. The yoga, and all these are called sadhanas, these different types of yoga, these different types of unions and yokings with. When we use the power of our intellect to harness the powers of our mind, to have union with that truest and deepest part of ourself, that yoga of discernment is called Gana yoga. It asks us this question: who am I? What am I? Who is the real self? Where is my real self? The yoga of devotion, of love, is called Bhakti yoga, and it harnesses the infinite power of love to bring us and unite our hearts with that loving form of God. It doesn't matter which form of God, or what attribute of God, or what name of God. What matters is that you love this form and name and idea of God, whether it be Jesus, or Buddha, or Krishna, or Ramakrishna, or Mary, or an infinite form of light. What matters is that you feel no fear, and you feel only love, and you know that you feel only love in return. That is harnessing the power of love to unite our hearts. The action, work-oriented part of our mind is called karma yoga. And that power of our mind that we use to turn inward, for inwardness, for reflection, that is called Raja yoga. All of us use all these different powers of our mind. And they're meant to divinize our whole life, so that no part of our life is left unsacralized. Every part of our life is made sacred through these different powers of our own mind. So that we engage in work, it becomes a divine search. We work for God. That when we meditate in God's presence. That when we love in and through the divine. And that we use our discernment to ask, who and what is the real me? So, the goal of meditation is to simply quiet our mind. We can think of the mind as being a very clear lake. And at the bottom of that lake is this beautiful, luminous, effulgent, gracious light. And when you look down through this pure mind of yours like a lake, you can see that radiance and you feel the warmth. Now when we get distracted, it creates waves in our minds. When we get angry or fearful, our minds and our moods create mud in that lake, and we can't see our own divine radiance. Meditation stills our mind. So it's hard. There's nothing easy about meditation. And that's why we need to seek a place where our sights don't go outward Our ears don't go outward. Our smell doesn't go outward. We turn all these outward things into ourselves, and our attention goes all inward. We put a sign on our forehead that says, "Do not disturb, no entry." The sights, the smells, the memories, turn it all off. Whatever you hear, turn it off. Just go deep and quietly within. We're going to do 2 meditations this morning. The first one is from the Bakti Yoga tradition, or the yoga of love. Japa, or the repetition of a mantra, is a key practice of this. Japa means meditation, or the repetition of a holy syllable, such as Om, or a sacred phrase, such as Om Namah Shivaya, Hari Om Tat Sat, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me. All these are valid mantras. Om is generally in every mantra from the Hindu and the Buddhist tradition. Om itself is a very powerful, sacred symbol. Om itself is very powerful. Now, when we talk about japa and the repetition, we think, oh, that's just a useless repetition. But our mind uses words. Our mind clings to words. We're always talking to ourselves. We're repeating old songs, stupid commercials, negative messages to ourselves. Why did you do that? That was so stupid. Negative messages about other people. Why did she do that? It's so stupid. Negative, positive, static electricity we use with words all the time. We can't see the bottom of our lake. We can't reach our radiance with all that static. The repetition of a holy name, holy phrase, calms the mind, and we latch on to the divine. We use that sacred syllable to go deeper and deeper and to make our minds so pure that our holy radiance shines forth. So today we will use the sacred syllable Om. Om in the Hindu tradition is the most sacred of all sounds. It is the combination of all vowels, ah and oo, being all vowels because they become O. All consonants go into There are 4 syllables in Om. Ah is 1 beat, oo is a beat, is a beat, and the last beat is silence. Silence is his name. Om is all sounds of past, present, and future. It is the sounds of what has been, what is, and what will be, and what is outside of all time. Om is the divine reality. Om is included in Ah, is our waking state. Oo is our dreaming state. Is our deep sleep state. And the silence is the Atman, the witness of all states of our consciousness. So now, let us sit straight in a relaxed posture. Make sure your neck, shoulders, spine, hips are all in a straight line. Let us breathe in. Let's hear a little Om in there. Mustafa's going to have a little Om in our background here. And as we breathe in, let us breathe in thoughts of strength and purity, compassion. As we breathe out, let us breathe out all signs of weakness, of anger, and any tension or anxiety in our bodies or minds. Breathe in strength, breathe out compassion. I'll do that for 1 minute. Any thoughts, any weakness that hangs on you, breathe it out and breathe in love, strength, compassion. And now let us remember anyone in our lives who is sick or is in pain, anyone in our lives who needs our prayers. Let us send our thoughts of love and compassion to that person or persons. Let's send our thoughts of love and compassion in all directions, to the north and the south and the east and the west, above us and below us. To all beings everywhere, we send our love, our compassion, our prayers for their happiness and well-being. And now for 10 minutes, we're going to think of the divine radiance in our own hearts with any form of God you love. That radiance filling our hearts. And during that time, we will chant Om. Please join me. Aware of the radiance in your heart of the divine. Chant Om. Aware of the radiance in the hearts of all around you. Aware of the divinity in all beings around you. Chant Om. Om. Aware of the radiance in all beings. Send those thoughts of love out everywhere. And ask the Lord, in His infinite grace, that He or she remove our egos, that we can serve and be aware of the divinity in all beings. Now let us remain in silence for just 1 minute. And we listen to the Om, which is the sound of the universe. It goes on all around us all the time. And we will begin our second meditation, which is that of Gana Yoga, the practice of Vichara, or discernment. Let us think of our divine self within, and we ask ourselves, who am I? Who is the real self? Who is the real me? When we first ask ourselves this question, we think, oh, my body, oh, my mind, my personality. And then we go deeper and deeper. And we peel away the layers of this onion of ours. We realize that we're the deepest self within the divine core that is one with all beings and one with the absolute divine radiance and the divinity of the universe. So let us first think of our various levels of identity. And let's first think of our body. Let's be comfortable. Again, positioning ourselves so our back and neck, shoulders are straight. Let's think of our body sitting in this chair. Let us become aware of our body. And then remember that the body is a vehicle. It is the vehicle that we use that houses the divine self within. So let's breathe in, again, compassion and love. And breathe out any weakness that we may feel now. With that Om in the background, we breathe in our true divine nature. We breathe out any weakness. And now, as we focus on the body, let us remember, I am not this body. This body is the covering over the real me. I am not this body. And think of our divine radiance within. Now let's move on. Let's go a layer deeper. Let us go to our mind. Think about our mind and watch it for a minute. Watch where it goes here and there. The mind's like a naughty child. When you watch it, it gets embarrassed. So let's watch our mind. See what it does right now. It's a tricky little devil. Let's see what it's doing. And then let us say to ourselves, I am not the mind. The mind is a covering over the real me. I'm not the mind. Sit with that thought for a couple of minutes. Watch it when it plays. Let's pull that onion back. Let's go to the ego. Let's focus on the ego. The ego tries to make us think that I am working, I'm doing this. But it's the body and the mind that are doing it, not the ego. The ego is a phantom. Let's think of the presence of this ego of ours, that thing which separates us from other people and from our own divinity. And let us meditate on I am not this ego. The ego is a covering over the real me. Separate yourself from the ego. Look at it and say to yourself, I am not this ego. This ego is a covering over the real me. Now let us focus our attention on the light of consciousness within. Feel yourself one with this light, radiant consciousness. Go deeper and deeper down. So you merge into that infinite, loving light of absolute pure consciousness. The light that is absolute radiance, absolute compassion, absolute love. Existence being love itself. Let us merge in that light. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Filled with Brahman are the things we see. Filled with Brahman are the things we see not. From out of Brahman flows all that is. From Brahman flows all. Yet Brahman is still the same. Please join me in Om Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. And let us now have 3 minutes of silence. Anyone have any comments, or I hate to even break the silence? Then let's just remain in that space and remember that whatever joy and light that we've experienced is our own birthright. It's available to us all the time. And the light of our own divinity that we've experienced, remember that other people have that as well, other beings. And that when we encounter others, let's try to remember that and see that first before we see difference.